Alex was an energetic schoolboy who loved nothing more than running around and playing football. He was always on the go, and he loved the thrill of the game. One day, after a particularly fierce practice, Alex came home feeling exhausted and hungry. All he could think about was how much he wanted to sink his teeth into a warm, delicious muffin. But unfortunately, his family was struggling financially and they couldn't afford to buy any treats. Alex was disappointed, but he knew there was nothing he could do. So he went to bed, hoping that he would be able to fall asleep and forget about his craving for muffins. But no matter how hard he tried, he just couldn't seem to sleep. His mind kept racing and his stomach kept growling. Just when he was about to give up, he heard a rustling noise coming from under his bed. He reached down and found a crumpled-up map. It was a map of a mysterious place called the Land of Muffin Mountains. Alex had never heard of it before, but he was curious. He smoothed out the map and set off on an adventure to find the Land of Muffin Mountains. After a sleepless and muffin-craving-filled night, Alex grabbed his bag, a bottle of water, a bottle of hand sanitizer, and the map for his epic adventure. He was determined to find the Land of Muffin Mountains and satisfy his craving for delicious baked goods. Setting out on his journey, Alex made his way to the first destination on the map, a giant cookie. As he approached the giant cookie, he saw that it was rolling through the countryside, leaving a trail of crumbs behind it. Alex knew that he had to be careful. He didn't want to get rolled up in the giant cookie's doughy mass. So he crept up slowly, trying to get a better look at the situation. As he drew closer, he saw that the giant cookie was being chased by a pack of ravenous cookie monsters. Alex's heart raced as he watched the cookie monsters snap and snarl at the giant cookie. He knew he had to do something to help. Without hesitation, he unslung his bag and rummaged through it until he found his trusty football. Taking careful aim, Alex kicked the football as hard as he could, launching it straight at the cookie monsters. The football hit its mark, knocking the cookie monsters off balance and giving the giant cookie a chance to escape. Alex cheered as the giant cookie rolled away, leaving the cookie monsters behind. He knew that he had saved the day, at least for now. But the journey was far from over. Alex had many more obstacles to overcome before he could reach the Land of Muffin Mountains. He gathered up his things and set off once again, determined to find his way to the land of his dreams. As he walked, he couldn't help but wonder what other adventures awaited him on the way. Would he have to face more cookie monsters? Or would he discover even more delicious treats along the way? Only time would tell. But no matter what lay ahead, Alex knew that he was up for the challenge. He was a brave and determined adventurer, and he was determined to find the Land of Muffin Mountains no matter what. After a close encounter with the giant cookie and the cookie monsters, Alex was feeling more determined than ever to find the Land of Muffin Mountains. He set off on the next leg of his journey, eager to see what other adventures lay ahead. As he walked, he couldn't help but feel his stomach growling. He had been so focused on his journey that he had barely eaten anything all day. Just when he was about to give up and turn back, he spotted a glimmer of hope on the horizon. In the distance, he saw a sign that read "Welcome to the Maze of Donuts." Alex's eyes lit up at the sight. He had always loved donuts, and he knew that this was a sign that he was getting closer to the Land of Muffin Mountains. Without hesitation, Alex set off toward the maze. As he approached, he saw that it was a complex network of twisting, turning paths, all lined with delicious-looking donuts. He could hardly contain his excitement as he began to explore the maze, searching for a way through. As he walked, he encountered all sorts of obstacles. There were pitfalls filled with jelly, traps set by mischievous donut fairies, and even a giant donut monster that tried to block his path. But no matter what stood in his way, Alex was determined to find a way through. Finally, after a long and arduous journey through the maze, Alex emerged triumphant on the other side. He was covered in jelly and crumbs, but he had made it through the maze. As he caught his breath and gathered his bearings, he saw that he was on the edge of a vast, rolling plain. In the distance, he could see a range of mountains that seemed to be made entirely of muffins. Alex knew that he had finally found the Land of Muffin Mountains. He couldn't believe it. He had set out on his journey with nothing but a map and a dream, and now he was standing on the edge of the most magical place he had ever seen. Without hesitation, Alex set off towards the Muffin Mountains. As he walked, he saw all sorts of amazing sights. There were fields of muffin flowers, bubbling muffin streams, and even a muffin waterfall. Alex couldn't believe his luck. As he crossed the final threshold and stepped into the Land of Muffin Mountains, he was greeted by a chorus of cheers. A group of friendly muffin people rushed up to him, welcoming him with open arms. Alex couldn't believe it. He had finally made it to the land of his dreams, and it was even better than he had imagined. There were muffins as far as the eye could see, in every shape, size, and flavor imaginable. With a huge grin on his face, Alex sat down to enjoy the feast of a lifetime. He knew that he had earned it, and he was determined to savor every last bite. And as he sat there, surrounded by the love and warmth of the muffin people, he knew that he had finally found his true home. Over the next few weeks, Alex explored every corner of the Land of Muffin Mountains. He discovered hidden valleys filled with wild berries. He climbed to the top of the Muffin Mountains to watch the sunrise. And he even learned how to bake his own muffins with the help of the muffin people. As the days passed, Alex knew that it was time for him to return home. He had spent an incredible time in the Land of Muffin Mountains, and he had learned so much about baking and about himself. But he knew that he couldn't stay there forever. So he said goodbye to the muffin people and set off on the long journey home. As he walked, he couldn't help but feel a sense of sadness at leaving this magical place behind. But he also knew that he had to go home and share the joy of muffins with his family. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Alex arrived home. His parents were overjoyed to see him, and they couldn't believe all the stories he had to tell about his adventures in the Land of Muffin Mountains. But the best part was yet to come. As a special treat, Alex pulled out a bag of muffins that he had baked himself in the Land of Muffin Mountains. His parents were amazed at the delicious smell, and they couldn't wait to taste the muffins that their son had brought home. As they sat down to enjoy the muffins, Alex knew that he had finally found his true calling. He had always loved baking, and he knew that he would carry the joy of muffins with him for the rest of his life. And so, as the sun set on another day, Alex settled in with his family, happy and content, and knew that he had finally found his true home.